Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie and I am as always coming to you from the northern part of Norway, where I live with my boyfriend and our almost 3-year-old son Ludwig. I am the dyer behind Arctic Yarns. I'm a designer. You can find my patterns on Ravelry, and I work in a local yarn store, and most of my life revolves around yarns and knitting and other fiber related crafts, and this is what this podcast will be about, or is about. I have a little bit of admin up front. I will be really quick on this, but there are advent calendars available in the shop, which you can find linked down below. There are 4 variations of the advent calendars, and there is 10 or 20 grams and Norwegian wool or merino wools, and I will talk more about that later. I just wanted to let you know that, and also that on July 22nd, which is this next Sunday, the upcoming Sunday, on that date the store will close, and it will stay closed until September 1st. So if you want to buy my yarns, or there are lots of yarns in the store as well, if you want to buy my yarns or buy advent calendars or sell mitten pins, you have to do that before the 22nd of July. If you want, the reason I'm closing the store is I'm going to do a lot of back office stuff. I'm also going to move away from WooCommerce and over to Shopify, which is just a new platform for the store. There will be some changes in, not what I do, I will still dye yarn, it will be mostly the same basis, but there will be some changes in Arctic Yarns, and if you want updates on those, you can head on over to arcticyarns.com, and right on the bottom of the page there is a sign up for the newsletter box, and if you sign up for the newsletter there, I will give you updates there. I do not spam you, I promise. I only send out the newsletter when there is something to say. That be if there's a shop update, new stuff in the shop, which it's not even every week. But then I send out a newsletter to let you know, and also when I release patterns and stuff like that. So a couple of times a month there will be a newsletter with just relevant stuff. I won't just send out stuff with commercials, just yada yada yada. I just wanted to let you know that that's an option if you want to know what Arctic Yarns is up to. I also wanted to let you know about the Arctic daily videos I've been doing. I started at the beginning of July really nicely and made videos every day. I've been making videos like Dye Studio Tour. I've been sitting here talking about how I started knitting. I've been on a hike. I've done a couple of other things as well. So you can find that in the, I'm going to pop it up here somewhere. There will be a link to the playlist on YouTube if you want to check them out. There will be more Arctic daily videos, but they won't come daily anymore because I can't manage to do daily videos. I really love making them, but I can't find the time every day to make videos. So they will just come whenever I feel like it. Maybe it will be weekly, maybe monthly, maybe more at periods and a little bit less at other times. It just depends on how much I have to do, because I do have a job and I do have a family, so I have to prioritize that, and I also have a lot of yarn dyeing to do. So I will talk more about the shop later, but I just wanted to let you know that up front. And let's move on to knitting. The finished object segment this time will go really quick. I have none. So let's just move on to works in progress, because I have a few, but I'm only going to talk about 3. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I was hoping to have as unfinished object this time, and that is my Coos cardigan. I am knitting this. It's a long cardigan. I will see if I can pop a photo up on the screen. And I am knitting this out of this yarn, which you can't really tell it is. It is a so-called blow yarn. It's an alpaca yarn. And it's knit up on, I think I'm knitting it on 5mm needles, 5.5mm needles. And this is how far I've gotten on the cardigan. Let's see if I can show you. So this is the cardigan. You can see, well, I hoped it will be done, but it isn't. What I need to be doing, this is the top of the cardigan around the neck. This is the back of the neck, and I have the stitches for the, it's not button bands because they won't be buttons, but the stitches are on the needles, and I'm going to knit those up on both sides, up until the middle, and sew them there. And I also need to make the pockets, and after that it will be done. So it's probably one evening of work. Let's see if I can put this on. Maybe I can't. But you can see that it's a little bit weird in the shape there. It's a little bit weird in the shaping of the shoulder, because it has sort of a raglan decrease. It's knit bottom up, and it has sort of a raglan decrease, and the raglan goes up on the arm, and then there is basically what you do to make this sort of shape. I don't know if you can see the decreases really, but they go up here and then they go up here. What you do to make this sort of shape is that instead of decreasing in 8 points or 8 places every other round, you decrease in 4, and then you do a double decrease. So first you decrease, I decreased all the sleeve stitches until there was only one left, and then I started decreasing the shoulder stitches. I love how this looks. However, I'm not very impressed with the fit of this cardigan. You can see it's kind of bulky up here. It's a little bit weird. And also the sleeve is really tight compared to the body. And now that I'm actually having it on, it doesn't look too bad, so I just have to wait to see. There are a little bit of holes under the sleeves that needs to be sewn in. And we will just have to see how this will look. I have also decreased up the front, so it's sort of, yeah, I don't know the English word, but I think it will look great. I was intending on knitting the no frills cardigan, which probably all of you know about. It's a petite knit pattern, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I had found the yarn and I had found the perfect colors for that, and then the colors were sold out from the supplier, which is Sandnes Garn. And I work in the yarn store, as I said, so I waited and waited and waited week after week after week, and it didn't show up. Then I casted on this, and the day after, the yarn showed up. So I'm going to knit that as well, because that's, well, it's kind of the same shape. The structure is quite different, because this is one thick blow yarn, as I said, which is just, I don't know if I can show you the structure of the yarn. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not really single spun, but it is a single, and it's like this knitted tube in the middle of the yarn. It's gorgeous yarn, it's really soft, it will be really warm, and I'm thinking this of as an like just showing on cardigan to wear at work. I'm stuck in yarn, which isn't really a bad thing, is it? But this is the button bands. You can see there are a couple of stitches, I think it's 5 stitches of 1x1 rib, and then there is a little bit of stockinette which is going to be sewn in to give it a little bit more structure. And I have lots of progress keepers to mark my decreases. These two are from Lily of the Nordic Stitches. This one I got as a gift. I love stitch markers this color. I think it's awesome. And yeah, I think this will be great when it's finished. I just need to finish it and sew in the ends and clean it up, and I'm just going to hope for the best. However, I'm going to pop, I don't know if I did it earlier, but I'm going to pop the photo up on the screen so you can see the pattern photo for this. It's a pattern by Sandnes Garn. It's from their Coos booklets. I'm going to put that also up on the screen, but here's the photo of it. And I can totally understand why the model is wearing the cardigan as she is. It's like off one shoulder, it doesn't really show off. So when I was starting the decreases, I didn't quite understand what to do. So I went to see the photo, and it didn't really tell me anything. You can't see the detail of the photo. And it's a really bad photo. And I see that a lot. It's like when I knit a pattern, or is about to knit a pattern. If you are a designer out there, please listen. Because when I knit a pattern, I really want to see the details in the photos. I want to see how it fits. I want to see how the decreases are done, how it looks when the model is standing just like this. Because that shows me more about how it's going to wear than a model that is all over the place. We actually have some, and this is from one of the bigger Norwegian companies, and we have some patterns in the store where the model is like all over the place, and people come in and ask me, can you please show me this pattern? It's a really popular pattern. I'm not going to name which pattern it is, because many of you will probably understand which pattern it is. I was like, yeah, this is the pattern. And then you open the booklet and they say, nice boobs. Because you can't really see the cardigan because the model is standing on a boat or something with a bikini on and the cardigan is open. So you can't see the cardigan, you can only, it's just boobs, it's just a double page of boobs. But there's a lot of this. And it's not really what I look for when I go to buy a pattern. And there's a lot of that going around in many of the Norwegian patterns. Many of the Norwegian patterns are really good photos on. That just plain simple photos that show you what the knitting is about. But some of the newer patterns, they are just so artisty or artsy or whatever you're going to call them, that it's really hard to see what it actually looks like. And it kind of bothers me a lot. Especially when you come up to here on like this cardigan and you don't understand what to do because the pattern instructions are so unclear. When you come to the top of the arms, it says that you should continue to work in the round while increasing. But at the same time, it says that you will have like edging. Which, did I work this in a round and did I work it back and forth? And I think that's part of the reason why this cardigan isn't turning out the way I wanted it to be under the arms. Because I decided to work that in the round. I should have done that back and forth. Or laid flat or whatever you want to call it. But the pattern was so unclear that I just really had to take my chances. And I do consider myself to be a good knitter. I kind of know how to figure stuff out. And I help people a lot in the yarn store. Most of the times I can understand patterns that other people don't seem to understand. But this one, it just did make no sense for me. I'm going to knit more patterns from that booklet because I'm making a sweater for my boyfriend from that booklet. I'm wondering what the other patterns will be like, if it will be just as terrible. But we'll just have to wait and see. I will let you know, that's for sure. The other project that I'm going to show you, I don't know if I showed you this, but a while ago I bought a lot of cotton yarns. This is the thinner cotton yarn called Mandarin Petite. It's just a thin cotton yarn. I bought it in 6 colors. This is the brown, it's a discontinued color, so if you find this in a yarn store in Norway, it will probably be half the price. But I bought this a while ago, and I started to make pot holders. I started to crochet this. I think this looks absolutely beautiful. The trouble is the sizing of it. It's really small to use for pot holders. I want pot holders to be bigger. Then I was thinking, because you can see I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used all 6 colors in this, so I opened 6 skeins. And I was wondering, should I just go up a hook size? But that will be too, it really needs to be tight to make pot holders. And I was thinking about maybe just buying Mandarin Medin, which is a thicker yarn, just to make them bigger and go up on a hook size. But I already had like 11 skeins of this. So basically I'm not going to throw this just because yeah, there's lots of little ends here, so I'm not going to frog it, but I gave up on this project. And then I had 11 skeins, where 6 of them were open of Mandarin Petite. So what I did was that I casted on 2 skeins. This one is a yellow and a brown. And I decided to just make dishcloths, because I have lots of dishcloths that are made from cotton yarns that are worn out. And they are the best dishcloths, so I decided to make this. And I used 2 strands for each. I use 5mm needles. This is Harmony Wood needle from Knit Pro, which is one of my go-to needles. I love them. And what I do, you can see, I want to show you. This is the front, and this is the back. So what I do when I make this is I cast on 38 stitches, then on every right side I knit 1 purl 1 for the entire row, and on the back side I just knit every stitch. So it's a really quick knit to just grab. It's easy to have in the purse. When I was knitting that when I was hiking, because it's really, this is all I need. It doesn't weigh much. I don't need that. I just need this. It doesn't weigh much. It's easy to put in my backpack or in my purse. It's easy to have when I'm going out and about, if I'm just going out to hang with friends, or not that I do that very much, but if I'm going up in the mountains, if I go yeah, you know what I mean. It's just a simple little thing. Also, I've been feeling kind of uninspired a little bit lately, and it was a really good project just to have something to work while I was waiting for the inspiration to come back. And the inspiration has come back. But I've been knitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm working on number 7. So this one is yellow and grey. This one is blue and pinkish. This one is pinkish and green. I have a blue and grey and a green and brown. And there's also a green and blue, which is a little bit smaller because I ran out of one of the yarns. So that's just a small one. I think that may be a shower cloth or something. I need to sew in the ends. But this is what I have so far. I have quite a bit of yarn left. This is the yarn I have left. And I'm going to make all of that yarn into dishcloths before I wash them and put them in the drawer, because I just want to put every single one there at the same time. This is not something I'm hoping to get finished anytime soon. It's just something I work on whenever I don't feel like working on anything else. I need something mindless, or I just want something to put in my backpack to go on a hike in the mountain. And yeah, because when you go on a hike up here, it's like up in the back of my house. It's a really steep hill and you don't want to carry more than you have to. And people laugh at me for carrying knitting at all, but if I am to carry knitting, it's going to be the smallest one. Also, as I said, 38 stitches, 1 row knit 1 purl 1, the other one is just knit all stitches, and you can use any yarn you want. If you use a thicker yarn, just adjust your needle size. This is double yarn, so that's why I'm using 5. But you can just adjust your needle size. You can make them in double yarn or just 1 strand of yarn, and just adjust the stitch count on the needle to whatever width you like. So those are awesome little projects. It's also awesome gifts. What I see people do here in Norway, at least, is that for little gifts, when they are just gifting something to, like I was about to say a teacher or something, but we don't really give gifts to teacher. But like, if you want to just give something to a friend, you're going to visit and you bring a gift for the host. It's very usual, at least in Norway, to don't do that, and if you do, you bring wine. But if you don't want to bring wine, or just want to give a little something, or you want to give a Christmas gift for your colleagues, you can knit this. Then you put a little ball band on them, and I don't know the English word, one of those scrubs for washing dishes. Just put that along with her. It's a really cheap gift. It's a really affordable gift, not cheap. And these are the best dishcloths ever. Home knitted dishcloths. Just be sure you use 100% cotton yarns. The last work in progress that I'm going to show you. I asked you on Instagram a while back, should I cast on the Tiril sweater or should I cast on a mohair dress? Most of you said that I should cast on the mohair dress, but I casted on the Tiril sweater. But I also did buy yarn for the dress, so that's in this corner here, and that is probably going to be my next cast on. I just need to get stuff off the needles. I'm in one of those slumps where I just kind of want to not clear the needles. I have no intention of being without knitting projects, but I want to get stuff finished. I have so many things staying around that is almost finished. I just want to finish them off, clear up out this corner here so that I know what I have, and get whatever I have up in my craft room down here so that I have everything gathered together and feel like I'm in control of my projects. I never get there. I get here every now and then where I feel like I want to do that, but I never do that because there will be a new cast on like this before I ever get that far. But the Tiril sweater, it's supposed to be worked in brushed alpaca, and I've seen it worked up in this yarn, which is Sarnes Tweed. This is a yarn that is going to be discontinued, and I love it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's a little bit slow to knit with. In Norway we use the word trot. It doesn't really just slide off needles. But it's okay, it's not horrible to work with. It's just flying by. I had just finished the main body because, as most of other Norwegian pattern, this is work bottom up. So this is the main body. It looks really small, but that's only because I'm working on 60 centimeter needles because I didn't have 80 available at the time. But you can see it's not really that small. So this one is for me. I'm about to start a sleeve, and I am having this in my plystre backpack, which is standing over there. I am using the plystre backpack every single day to work, and this is what I have in it. So whenever I do have a coffee break or just sitting and waiting for something, I grab this and I knit a few stitches. I'm about to start the sleeves, and I will have to read the sleeve pattern. It's supposed to be a lace pattern up here, but I will read through the sleeve pattern, but I think it will be okay to have that as well as a backpack knitting. And when I come up to this part, it will just be, I will just have to knit it at home at least the first couple of rows until I have established the pattern. I love how this is knitting up. I'm working this on a 5mm needle. The yarn in the pattern is a different yarn, and it says 6mm needles, but I'm working this on a 5mm needles, which is what gave me the correct gauge with this yarn, because I actually did a swatch. I am using cubics, and you can see that I'm using the needles that is supposed to be for the 40 centimeter needles, because that's what I had available. And I am fine with that. It doesn't really matter that much. I just grabbed the needles I have available and I started working on this. And I can't wait to have it finished, and I thought it would be just wonderful to have this when this yarn gets discontinued, because in the yarns that I work in, whenever yarn gets discontinued or colors disappear from the shade cards and stuff, we price it down to half the price and people don't really buy it. Because it's like, you don't buy something just because it's half the price anymore. At least not in this store. My boss also told me that earlier when she put something on 50%, it just flew out. It just disappeared right away. But now we have yarn that has been on 50% for at least half a year since I started working there. And it doesn't really just fly off. And I think the first, when the yarn first goes on half the price or 50% off, people buy sweaters quantity, and whatever is left is just single skeins, 2 skeins, and people can't really find project for them because it seems like Norway is in a sweater theme. I was thinking that if I just knit this up, not as a sample for the store, but as something I can wear when I'm working, people can see how this yarn knits up absolutely gorgeous. And maybe we don't have to have the yarn in there forever, because you want to get that yarn moving so that we can have in other yarns, because there are so many yarns, there are so many gorgeous yarns in the world, and there's so little place in that yarn store. I want to bring everything, or we want to. I want to bring in everything, and my boss lets me, so that's absolutely awesome. So that's the 3 works in progress I was going to talk with you about. Now, you know what, I'm actually going to show you one more. I just really want to show you this. I've been working on this a little bit lately. I want to show you this one as well. I'm not really going to say very much about it. I have talked about it very much earlier. But this is my granny stripe blanket. My cozy memories blanket are almost done. It's just need the edging. I have to get around to that before stash stash is finished, because that will make a huge dent into stash stash. And this is getting quite unhandy to show off. But you can see, let's see. This is the width of the blanket. Start here. And it's really, really big. It's 2 meters and 20 centimeters. And this is how much I worked on it, which is about 1.5 meters. So this one it's not getting close to being finished. Oh, I can just wear it like this. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not really close to being finished, but I'm working on it, and at the moment I'm working on it a little bit every day, because I just made a magic yarn cake. This is it. This is all the yarns from last year's advent calendars, the 10 grams merino skeins, that is currently being worked into this blanket. And also, if you do have, yes, all over the place. If you do have any suggestions for projects to use to if you have any suggestions for projects to do with mini skeins, will you please drop them down below, either here or on Ravelry, because I really love working with mini skeins at the moment. I have quite a bit of mini skeins, and I am also working up the advent calendars that I kind of want to knit into something right away. I'm going to keep Arctic Yarns calendars to myself, and I'm also going to buy another advent calendar. I haven't decided on which yet, but if you have any suggestions, put them down below. But I really want to, this year I want to open the calendar and work them into something immediately. I did that last year with the Cozy Memories blanket, but that one is finished, and I'm going to start another Cozy Memories, but that will be a gift, and it will be with only my hand-dyed yarn. So if you have any suggestions for other things, shawls, sweaters, something with stranded color work would be awesome. Also stripes, anything with mini skeins, pop them down below. I would love to have more mini skein projects. I love crocheting up this magic ball because I get to see the colors that I dyed last year. Some of them are regular. You see the last one here, one on the very top is Irish Rose Punk Rocker. The green one, that's number 2. Can't really see it, but there's a green one in between here. That is Norwegian Forest. I am working this on a 3.5mm hook, which is an E-hook. And what I do is that I collect mini skeins for this, then I make a magic cake, and then basically this is all I work on until that cake is gone. Then I put it away for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then I make another cake and I just hook away. So I just really wanted to show you that because it's seeing some progress. Also, let me just show you what I've been. So this is how far I have been crocheting since the last time I saw you. It's not all my hand-dyed yarn, it's also another cake that I had that just didn't show you. And I got these stitch markers. I think I got them in a swap, but if I hadn't got them in a swap, I would totally have bought them. I was planning on buying them. This is from Catherine, the wonderful, lovely Catherine of the Craft and Treats podcast and Craft and Treats yarn and stitch marker maker. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. But I bought this. It's a set. It's so hard to show you. But you can see this one says 3.5, which is the hook size that I'm using. So I'm just putting them in every crochet project I have, which is currently just this one, and I don't really crochet that much, to be honest. But that way, whenever I took this up now and I was like, was it 3.5 or 4? And then I remember this, I was like, yeah, it's 3.5. It's absolutely amazing. She also has them for knitting needles, which is like if you are using the unscrewable ones and you take the needles of one project, use them in another one. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that. I do it quite a bit. And then it's awesome to just hang on that stitch marker just so that you know which needles are going back into that project, so you don't have to start doing gauge swatches all over again. Because I don't talk about it that much on the podcast, but I do talk about it quite a bit in real life in the yarn store that I work in. But swatching is the key to success in knitting. Gauge swatching is so important. It's also terribly boring, and I don't want to do it more than I have to. And most of the times I don't do it. I also tell people because many, as I said, are knitting sweaters, and I say, yeah, you shouldn't do gauge swatch, and they say like, no, I don't do that. Well, start now. Make a sleeve first, make the rib, make 5 centimeters, then measure out the gauge. And if it's not correct, you can just adjust it, and if you have to frog it back, it's easier to frog 5 centimeters of a sleeve than 5 centimeters of the main body. That is if you are working bottom up, which we mostly do in Norway. Let's move on to weaving. I have a couple of weaving projects to show you. This one was on the loom last time. It's just off the loom now. This one is made in Sandnes Tynn Alpaca, which is a thin alpaca yarn. And you can see it's not perfect at all. I have some stuff like this. The etching is getting better, and this isn't horrible. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. It's worse down here. But it's like, I'm new to weaving, I'm okay with that. And I can see on all my projects, this is my 5th weaving. I can see like this is a new yarn, I haven't been weaving this before, and this is the beginning. See, it's a little bit lumpy and it's not perfect at all. This is the end. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better as I get to know the yarn. This one is quite a big shawl. It's about 30 centimeters wide and 160 centimeters long. It is going to be worn probably like that. It's from my mom. She loves blues, and I need to cut the fringes, and also I need to cut out the edges, that's amazing with weaving, you don't have to sew in edges. And since this is an alpaca, it's really warm and cozy. It's so warm. Just from putting it on now, I can feel the warmth of it in a... And it's like, wool is warm, but alpaca is even warmer, and it's warm in another way. If you understand. I don't know how to explain it, but alpaca is really warm. And I kind of want to weave myself an alpaca scarf, or just like this. I want to wear it with a shawl pin. And if you know any shawl pin makers, comment down below, because I want a really nice shawl pin to put up on this shawl. I can put it here, or I can put it here and just wear it like that. I also want to make, I want to make so much on that loom. I haven't been weaving that much lately, just because, lots of projects. I haven't been cross stitching at all, so I'm not going to show you anything. But this is, and you can see that I used 3 different colors for the warp. A white, a light blue and a dark blue, and then for the weft, which is kind of a little bit hard to show you, but I used a purplish blue. Grayish purplish blue. So this one is going to my mom. She bought the yarn and she will be getting this as soon as she gets home from vacation, or the weather cools down. Whichever comes the latest, because I won't be giving it to her when the temperature is like this. She will be getting it when it gets a little bit cooler, so she can wear it to work, because that's what she wants to do with that. Of course, the moment that was done, I started a new weaving. This time I had planned to make a time lapse of me warping the loom and making the project, but I just didn't because I forgot about it. And you can see I'm working with 2 colors. Let me just show you off the shuttles. So this is Sunrise Merino. It's normal merino. It's a brown and a yellow. Both of these colors are discontinued, so I bought them at half price. This is an acquisition. So I have just started, and this is how far I've gotten. You can see the purple ridge here is going to be moved away. It's just and you can see, look at this edge. That edge here is absolutely horrible. I think the yarn is just a little too sleek, but I think it will improve because it has done with all my other projects. And I'm making sort of a pleated pattern. I just really wanted to try to make something else, and these are very much my color, and this is one of the things that I need a shawl pin to wear, because I want to wear this at work. It is about probably 35 centimeters wide, and it will be about 160 centimeters long, so it will be a perfect shawl for me to wear at work. So if you have, please let me know if you have any suggestions on shawl pins, because I really want to wear this and I need the pin, or else it would just fall on the floor. So I'm really enjoying working on this. I am just dragging. You can see it doesn't really show very well and it's kind of hard to hold it up, but I'm just dragging I started the shuttles on different sides, so when I start working on the brown again, I would just pull the yellow thread up together with this warp thread, so that I don't have to start and stop with a new thread for every square I'm making. This is turning out to be pretty much a balanced weave, which means that it's just as long as between the weft as it is between the warp threads. And yeah, I don't know much about weaving, but it's looking good to me, so I'm pleased with that. And if you wonder about the loom, that is an Ashford rigid head loom. I love it. I got it for my birthday a month ago. I have already been making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 5th project. I absolutely love working on that loom. and I kind of want to try to get another heddle, I think it's called, so that I can double weave, which means that I can make double weave, so maybe I can make a baby blanket. Who knows? Acquisitions. I had the yarn for the weaving, I had the teal yarn. I also did buy yarn for a dress, and it's duo. This is a Sannes gun. It is 50-50, 55% merino wool and 45% cotton. It's made to be knit up at a stitch gauge at about 22 stitches, and it probably has around 100 meters per 50 grams, 110 maybe, 124. I also had this thin mohair yarn, thin silk mohair from Sannes, and I'm going to knit those two together, sort of a burgundy. And I'm going to knit those two together to make a dress. So I have bought 7 skeins of this and 3 skeins of that. This is a new color, and the moment it came into the store as a new color, I was like, I want to use this. So these two together will be absolutely lovely for that dress. And I really want to finish it up before this fall so that I can wear it to work. Because that's one of the beautiful things with working in a yarn store, is the way I get to dress. I get to wear my hand knits every day. I get to dress up a little bit. In my earlier work, it was kind of a very physical job, so I didn't want to wear my knitwear because I ruined it. Also, when I work from home, when I do dyeing, which I do half of the time, when I dye yarns, I don't want to wear it. I often wear a kofta or a sweater, but I don't want to dress up in a knitted dress or something, just because if I spill something on it, that wouldn't be too good. The next acquisition I am going to show you is quite a break. I've been seeing this all over all the podcasts. They gifted it to quite a bit of podcasters. I feel like I've been seeing it all over the world, but I know that at least Ellie of Skandir talked about it. I think both Wool and Wine and Stranded had talked about it, and I also think that Magdalena Wolf of the Wolf and Schaffer podcast talked about this on her podcast. And everyone said that it was absolutely amazing, and I just really needed to buy it, so I did. I bought it. I'm not going to do a review of this just because I haven't really been going through it. It's a real treat. It's a real nice book. It looks great, and I can't wait to sit down and have a little bit of more time to just flip through this and see what I think about it. I don't think I will do a review because, as I said, everyone and the dog's uncle has been doing a review of this, so I don't think you need any more reviews. But I just wanted to let you know that I caved in and I bought it, and I know that many of the things that are said in this book can be found on the internet or in other books, but it's just amazing. This is just packed with information on everything, and I think it will be one of my go-to books. I'm not going to put this up in my craft room. I'm going to put it on the shelf under my table so that I always have it available right here in the living room, which is where I knit. I said I would talk a little bit about what's going on with Arctic yarns. So as I mentioned, the advent calendars is up. There are quite a bit of them, but when it's out, it's out. So if you want one, you better go grab one right now. There's also a few Cybermitten enamel pins left in the store. There are other yarns in the store as well. The advent calendar is available as merino or rustic wool. The merino calendar will be it's fingering weight merino. It's my merino sock and my sparkle merino base. There will be about, I'm not saying exactly, about 12 mini skeins of each. You can choose between 10 or 20 grams. The other calendar that I'm making is from Norwegian wool. It will be from my Vilje and my Sølje base. And you know about Sølje, it is Norwegian pelt wool. And Vilje is a new base that I'm taking in. It's going to replace the Ask that I've been having. Because when I started dyeing, I really wanted to take in the pelt wool, but because it's grey, like its natural color is grey, it's kind of hard to make two colors that are high enough contrast to color work. So I decided to take on the Ask base as well, because that was the one that was closest to matching up so that you can maybe use them together. However, Hillesvåg, my supplier, has later released lamb's wool bases that is made to fit perfectly with the pelt wool bases. So that is why Vilje is coming in. It's an absolutely lovely base. I have been playing around a little bit with it. I haven't been knitting with it, but I have been cuddling with it and looking at it and feeling it a little bit. But it's absolutely amazing. I love that base and I'm so excited to have that in my shop. So the Norwegian wool calendar will be both of those bases. It will be about, again, not exactly, about 12 skeins of, or mini skeins, either 10 or 20 grams of each of those bases. And if you have been following me for a while, you know that I have been dyeing on Norwegian wool for, yeah, a little bit over a year. And until now I have only been dyeing solid colors that are suitable for color work. However, that's not the only reason. It's also a little bit because it's kind of harder to dye variegated on Norwegian wool than it is on merino. I've been having two yarn lines where I have been calling the same colors different names because they look so different. That is going to stop. I am now going to start dyeing all the colors on all the bases. That's one of the major changes I'm doing in my shop, which also means that I need to dye up all the colorways on all the bases to take photos of them, and that is what I'm currently working on. So there won't be any new listings in the store before it goes on vacation mode, but I am working on this. Let's start with this one. This one is my Virak colorway. I have it on, this is on merino. Again, this is not going up in the store, I just wanted to show you the difference. This is the lamb's wool. This is the DK yarn because that's what I had in stock. And this is the pelt wool, so you can see the difference. This is the same color on 3 different bases. But these are going to be named the same in the store from now on. I'm not going to name them differently. And that way it will also be easier to me to have more colors instead of having lots of names. It's just easier. So this is Virak. I have also dyed up a little bit of lilac, just one skein of each to take photos. You see this is the pelt wool, the lamb's wool and the merino. So it dyes up quite differently. There will be lots of photos of this on Instagram in this closest few weeks. And the last one that I have up here, because the rest is in the basement where I have my dye studio, so the last one is this. This was supposed to be cotton candy, but I messed it up a lot. So this is just a one-off, but I love it. I really do love it. So maybe I know what I did that messed it up, so I know exactly how I did it. So this is on merino, but maybe I will make this a regular because I'm also looking into adding some new colors. And I think, like, you can take this one and you can match it up with an undyed white, or you can take this one and you can match it up with an undyed grey, or you can match it up with yeah, maybe not purple or maybe not white, but any other color. I can see this being with a pink. This is a contrast color. Pink self mitten with this as a contrast color. That would be awesome for some girls that loves pink and purples. So that is what I'm currently working on in the store. There will be some new colorways. All the old colorways will stay there, but some of them will change names and it will be on a new platform. So I'm really excited to be working on that, and that is what I'm going to continue working on when I'm done with this podcast. I think that's it for now. I'm not going to talk too much about Arctic living because I have been working, and there will be a bit more vlogs later this summer when we go on vacation and do stuff and have a little bit time off. But for now, that is all I have to share with you. I hope to see you again in not long, hopefully in a week, and it was really nice talking with you again, and I hope you have a nice day, and I hope you have a nice summer, and I hope you are getting a lot of crafting done, and I will see you again soon. Bye.